Hello and welcome to another Witchcraft live chat. So, when we say witchcraft, we're talking about which craft will I be doing, not, you know, witchcraft. Just just clarifying these things. Just clarifying these things. Good to see everybody here nice and early. Let me just bring the comments back in. Kathy was first cab off the block. Good morning, Kathy. Kelly is also here hanging out. Yeah, Macy is hanging around. She's not in here right now. Doesn't mean she won't be back. She will totally be back to come and trash something. Good morning, Teresa. How are you going? How's it going? Or good evening, I should say, possibly. I don't know. I don't know. This glow is not doing awesome things for me, I have to say. But got to keep stirring. Got to keep stirring. So I'll just push that off to the side here. See, let me have a look. So if you were here last week, you know the new game that we have is the Witchcraft. It is a fun game where we roll the dice at the beginning of the stream and choose the craft that we'll be working on. There are some rules. They're in the description below if you want to clarify. But the main rules are basically, if you don't like the role that was chosen for the day, then you've actually got the option to make me do something else. So if you're a channel member, you can use your once a month free channel member chat to demand a reroll. And then I will re-roll the dice. The next project, or the project will be chosen, and I'll work on that project for 15 minutes. If you're not a channel member, you can have the same action happen with the yellow super chat. Last week we got the yellow and orange confused, so there was some bonuses for the people who were here last week. But if you want me to change the craft and you want to choose which one of the crafts on the list I do, then you need to orange super chat. So it's when you slide the slider, you'll see yellow, slide past again and you'll see the orange. Oh, that yarn bowl and spindle totally look like a cauldron, right? I just saw it. It was because I had it over in the background. I'm like, I wonder how cool that would look with some help, some help. So I'm actually just going to pop this over here in the background. Pop that there. Leave that there now. And one thing I will do now that we've had our fun, let's put the light back on. Got to have a bit more light on the situation. So I want to say good morning to a few more people. Teresa is doing well. I'm glad to hear that, Teresa. Bianca, hello. Welcome to the chat. Tech for your needs. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Kathy's saying hello to the people coming in. It's great to see you all. If you are a crafter and you think you know some crafty friends who might enjoy a stream like this one, make sure you share it out. That would be awesome. And if you've realized that you are not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. I am on a little plan to try and hit a little goal that I had for myself. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. It's just a little goal that I had. Good morning, Trish. How are you going? It's great to see you. Good morning, Mel. And Jackie is jumping in. She's made it today because she's homesick with bronchitis. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm happy you're here, but I'm sorry to hear that. That's for sure. Vampire, it's good to see you. Amanda Vargo, great to see you in the chat as well. Shannon has jumped in too. Everyone's jumping in, so that is awesome. Oh, yeah. YouTube's trying to get me to let us choose when to place the ads during your live stream. I'm like, hard no, please, YouTube. Hard no. Oh, Trish is well, but freezing and tired. Oh my gosh. Okay. Red Hooked is here saying hello. That is awesome. That is awesome to see you all here. Now, I've got a feeling I'm going to do something here. I have a feeling that me putting things on dark mode on my end, which makes my life easier, might slow things down. So let's have a look here. No, it's not that. Okay. All right. I suppose we should get in and have a look at our dice rolling. No, we want brand. We want where is it? Here we go. These are our projects that we have. Now, the spindle is not white fluffs. I have a different spindle with a different project. The spindle fluffs today, it's a bit ratty. I pulled it out of storage, but it is baby, camel, and yak from Eggshell Bunny. It's been in storage. It probably should have been in a bag. It was not in a bag. It was just in a crate. So it needs some love. It's still fluffy. It's still spinnable. It's just a little messy. So this is the fluffs that we will spin if number 3 comes up. It's ridiculously soft. I have to say, it is so soft. And I'm just like, do I have all my projects here? My knee-high socks are out in the lounge room. I'll have to run out and get those if they come up. Wasn't that organized, was I? I'm like, I'll get all the cool lights sorted out, but don't bring in all the craft. I even went and got the number 4 craft. It's not in here because the actual crate itself is huge. I've just put it just outside the door so I can grab it easily if that one gets rolled. Let us have a look here in the comments. No one came to your house. It was raining, and now you have 72 full-size chocolate bars. Oh my gosh, you are that house. You the house that does the full-size chocolate bars, and no one came. Australia's not right into Halloween just yet, and when I was setting up, it was still like 34 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which I think I worked out to be about 88 in US degrees Fahrenheit. So it was hot, and then I was just as it was starting to cool down, it rained. But it was a short rain, and lots of kids ended up coming in after that. So I had to sort of pull everything in and then put everything back out again. Do I card that myself? No, I didn't. I bought that one as roving, so or as top. Actually, it's not roving. So it was machine carded, and it was beautiful. It does look a bit ratty now, but it's it's a few years old. I'm trying to use my stash, guys. My stash is ridiculous, and I'm trying to use it up. So yeah. But no, I don't have to card that one myself. I do actually have a drum carder and hand carders and fine tooth combs, because sometimes I do like to card my own fibers. It depends on what I get, but that particular one I bought. That looks great. I'd love to see that spun. Well, then we'll need to see number 3 come up if that's the case. Trish says it's 0C here again. Oh my gosh. You guys are moving into your winter though, right? So that's sort of, kind of par for the course, is it not? I don't know. Good morning to Leanne jumping in. Hello, great to see you here, Mod Extraordinaire. Alrighty, let's get the dice rolling. So we'll change our screen so that we can see the dice. I should move my keyboard out of the way. I had that in so I could start the stream. I'll just lift this up a little, push that in, lower that down a dash. We'll see if that works. I may have just trashed everything. Okay, so I'm just going to, in my cup today, let me know what's in your cup. I have a witch's brew of the T2 Licorice Legs, which is a really great tea for soothing your throat when you've got to talk a lot. So it's perfect streaming tea. I should point out, it tastes nothing like licorice. It's licorice root. It's just sweet. It's sweet with kind of like a gentle mintiness to it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because I brushed my teeth. I don't know. It's just sweet. It's just sweet. Okay. You guys have had snow? Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, it's night for you guys. Yeah, it is 10 a.m. in the morning for me here. Kathy has Florida manufactured living. I'd be surprised if you got snow. All right, let's roll the first dice and we'll see which craft I'll be working on today. Oh, it's number 8. Number 8 gives us a vote. So if you want to jump over to the Witchcraft voting stream, in the description below is a form for Witchcraft to vote for. So, and the mods have got it as well. If one of the mods can drop that in the chat. I don't have it handy to cut and paste myself. Otherwise, I probably should have. Sally says, good morning. Someone may or may not have forgotten that today was Thursday and overslept. That's all cool. Sometimes you just need the sleep, Sally. Sometimes you just need the sleep. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Kelly has got the Witchcraft vote into the chat. I'm going to give this about a minute. So I'm just going to look at the time from now and keep an eye on it and go for about a minute. You've got 1 minute to get your vote in and go from there. I'm going to drink some more of my tea. What have you guys got? So I'm just seeing Knitspin Girl has got malted biscuit brew tea. That sounds amazing. I don't know what that is, but it sounds amazing. Yarning for a Smile. Great to see you in the chat. Catching you live for the first time. That is awesome. Well, you've caught us on a day where we actually get to vote on a project. So that is awesome. So if you want to click the link and choose from the list, and we can go from there. Keeping an eye on the time. We've got 15 more seconds of voting. Is there a problem with the link? I don't know. Home Rapid Repair. I just want to bring this up on screen. If I can. It's not bringing it. Let me have a look here. I will try again. There it is. I want to say a massive thank you. Home Rapid Repair was in my Monday live stream over on my other channel, and it was such a fun stream over there, and I really appreciate you coming all the way over here to drop a super chat because the other channel's not monetized, so there's no way to do that. So let's jump down. Let me have a look here. No idea what I voted for, but I voted. I love that. The link is working. Excellent. Oh, you see the rapid repair comment. Thank you. Every now and again, on my side, the StreamYard links don't come up and down properly. So it's a little frustrating. They work in the stream screen properly. So that is the important thing. And I have to just allow for the fact that here is wrong. Here is wrong. There is right. And I lifted up my monitor too high for this particular thing. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Let me look. The voting link works. Alrighty. So I'm going to go back to the voting screen. I'm going to share the voting screen. If I can find it. Witchcraft live vote. That's not it. There we go. All right. Oh, the technology. It's working. Okay. So let's show the results. Let's see. Knit on the silver ranunculus is what worked. That's the big winner. I'm so glad it wasn't the Scrappy Granny Riffle. Honestly, I love the Scrappy Granny Riffle. I really do, but it's just big because it didn't win the role. Abby wants to. I wanted to. Your blanket got 2 votes. We had a vote roll, and your blanket got 2 votes. My silver ranunculus was 6. Oh dear. So Claire is in the chat. Hello, Claire. Thank you. Unfortunately, you'll be lurking today. No, that's okay. That's okay. Sue says, hi everyone. I tried joining on my iPad, but found I couldn't join the chat. Oh, my friends, I learnt something this week. And now I don't know if it's the case for the live streams, but let's just drop to the standard 2 cam. I'm just gonna, just bear with me while I open my phone and do something here. I've got to make sure it's muted. I want to make sure it's my live stream so I don't get any kind of, evilness. Okay, so I'm just here. If I just click the live chat, it worked. Okay, so maybe the thing that I'm thinking of is only for the replay. Yeah, so whoops, ignore me. It's fine. But if you can't find the chat in your replay where your comments are, there's two little dots over on the right now, and if you slide it, it sorts itself out. I can't just. I'm sorry. That's just going to stay there. All right, silver ranunculus. For those of you that don't know what a ranunculus is, it is a beautiful top, and I'm making mine out of silver silk, and I'm up to the second sleeve. So I will knit on that for a bit. Now, I'm going to keep working on this until somebody super chats or uses their member chat to veto or whatever. Wow, I've got some threads all over the shop here. It's been riding around in the bottom of a project bag for a couple of days. Okay, let's knit up all these ends. Oh, that's the problem. I know what the problem is now. iPad had a huge update. Did you update your YouTube app? Because sometimes the apps themselves also need updating individually. I haven't tried to use my iPad for YouTube today, so I don't know. Okay, I'm into the swing. I'm into the swing. So this is the Ranunculus. It's an amazing pattern. This is my second Ranunculus that I'm making. The first one I made with cotton. And it's like a t-shirt. This one is more like a little light sweater, just an over top. It's too sheer to wear it as a shirt is basically the problem. So yeah, but I'll definitely be updating your apps. Let me have a look here. Sally, oh my gosh, it is. It's the 2 years. I need to go in. I found out I can actually add in some extra. I've got 2 extra slots open now to be able to add in some more, ninja graphics. So I'm tossing up whether or not to keep it the ninja and make it something else, or whether or not just to get it another color for the ninja. Because when I first set it up, we were only allowed 6, and now there's 8. So that's pretty cool. Mind you, I set it up 2 years ago. Things change in 2 years, Chantel. Yeah, maybe Abby will super chat it and change it. Well, she knows now that last week she got it at a discount because the full veto is the orange, not the yellow, and I got the colors mixed up and was doing stuff with the yellow instead of the orange. Like a noob. Thank you. Kelly has put the link into my Ravelry project so you can see the actual pattern and you can have a look at what other people are making with it and how they're using it. The actual pattern can be from like a light t-shirt all the way to a really dense, warm and thick sweater. And the one pattern is used for all, and you use the same size needles. So, and that's why it's so open, is because this is fine yarn. This is like a 4-ply or a number 3 weight yarn, possibly even getting down to a number 2 weight yarn if you're in the US. And the pattern can be used in yarns up to sort of like a bulky. Anything that a 6mm needle can work without becoming cardboard, basically. So I do have a tape measure, so I will have to measure every now and again and just double check that my sleeves aren't getting too long. But I did want a little bit of length in these sleeves. I think I've got a ways to go before I have to worry about that. I used to start crocheting a blanket in September so that it would cover my knees by the time I got to November. That's a great idea. Yarning for a Smile says, I have that pattern queued for quite some time. I did not recognize it till I saw the pattern photo. Yeah, look, a lot of people have seen it. 20,000 people have made it. and added it to their Ravelry queue. So there's probably more out there. Not everybody adds their projects to their Ravelry queues. And so, you know, it's a great pattern. So many people have made it in so many different ways. I was able to narrow down the field by plus sizes. So I could see what different people who are plus size have done. And you know, you can narrow it down to the weight of the yarn that you're using and see what other people have done with the weight of the yarn that you want. I was shocked. I'm a plus size, so I needed to make the size 7 version in the pattern. So in Australia, my tops are like a size 22, which I think is a 20 or an 18 in the US. I always get them mixed up. Um, I got a full t-shirt with what do we work it out to be? 205 grams of yarn, something ridiculous. I've never made a top with that little yarn before in my life. Now, you know, admittedly, crochet tops do take more yarn. I'm not going to lie, than knitted tops. We've got a little bit of yarn bath happening here. Let's sorterate that. We don't want yarn bath, please. I've currently got yarn coming from both the center of the ball and the outer edge. I've got each sleeve has got its own sort of thing. Which one are you? You are, let's, no, we want to go the other way. Untwisting, not twisting. That's what we want. Who here always twists it the wrong way first? I always twist the wrong way first. I can't seem to just look at it and go, yeah, no, that's not right, you donkey. All right, let's see how we go. Fingers are crossed that I've got it sorted. Okay. Oh, how do you narrow down the project searches to show a plus size? Okay. Let me just think. I might be best to show that in a screen share. But basically, you go to the projects. So you click the pattern. So you can follow my link. Then go to the actual pattern. You see the 20,000 up the top. You click that. And then you can actually type in the search bars options. And I just write plus. And it just drops all the other sizings down for me. I'm sure there's another way, but that's the way I do it. Oh, Kelly is right. I need to roll for the mosaic blanket. I should do that right now. Before I forget, we have to roll our 3 colors for the mosaic blanket. So color number 1. Now I don't have my Stream Deck plugged in today, so we're going to have to look it up of what the colors are. Color 2 is, oh, I'll have to look them back up, but hang on a second. Then color 1, and then, oops, we used that one before. And then color 7, 2, 1, and 7. So 7's duckling, 1 is rooster, and I can't remember what 2 is off the top of my head. Where would I be? Oh, I could look at overlays. No. Mathworks, there we go. Okay, so 1 is rooster, 2 is morpho. So it's morpho, rooster, and duckling. And there's duckling there. There we go. Okay, that is done. Thank you for the reminder on that. Back to this project. Sally says, once I eventually finish this practice ranunculus, I think I'm going to have to go up a needle size. Well, it would depend on the yarn that you use, I would think. So, yeah. What needle size are you currently using, out of curiosity? Um, love a dice roll. Didn't want to miss out. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, there you go. In the chat, Yarning for a Smile has put in the other way to do it, which is probably the more correct way. Yeah. But when you go into advanced searches for any pattern, you can use any of the usual ways to narrow things down. All of the things appear on the side. You might need to open them. Let me just, hang on a second. Sally put the link in. No, Sally did not put the link in. Kelly put the link in for my project. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Sign in. Log in. All right, I'll screen share this. We're having a pause and an impromptu jump over to have a look. Maybe that one is better, or that one. No, that one is not better. Let's get away. Okay. Alrighty. So I just need to make this screen a little bigger. All right, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. We're just going to be doing it briefly. Alrighty. So let me go here. So we're in the pattern. You can click to go so I'm just on my version of the pattern. So you click on the Ranunculus. So now I'm on the pattern page of the designer. I need to make this bigger. This is driving me insane. Hang on. Option, full screen it. There we go. We need all the stuff here. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so this is the full pattern page. Okay, so what you do is you go and click on the projects, and then I'm just double checking that I'm not missing anything off the side here. I think I'm missing just the word patterns off the top right, so that's fine. So if you want to search in your patterns, you can just type in something there, like if you want to search it, which is what I usually do because I'm really slack. But you can go over here to advanced, and this opens up. Oh, see, I knew it was going to do that. Hang on. It opens up all your advanced search filters. So there you go. So all of the normal filters that you can choose from when you are looking for a pattern. Yeah, it'll definitely be the next Rav instruction video for sure. Well, it'll be on the list. And then you can look for sizing. So there's status, craft, project, meterage. Where is the sizing? Colors used, color family. And there's more down here. Can anyone see it? It's very small on my screen over here. User tags, store notes. I probably rolled past it. I do normally have it open. Colors used, yardage, book size, needle size, happiness level, category, weight. Oh, I'm going insane, aren't I? Is it just me or oh sorry, when I turn my head away you can't hear. Is it just me? Or I can't see it. I can't find the sizing option. But I normally just type in plus up there. and it just narrows it all down to all the plus sizes. So that's how I usually do it. But anyway, I will definitely research this a bit better and for a video, because now I'm perplexified. Oops, I need this. I need this screen so that we can go back to our normal shot. There we go. Hang on. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, it's the wrong screen. The stream was like a million miles back. Okay. It could be because I do classify as typing it in. I don't know, because usually it would be there even if even if it wasn't used for an individual pattern. It's across the board for the pattern. But I'll confess, I usually just type plus and it drops out a pile. So I'm normally happy with that. But if you want to be more specific, you might need to go in the other way. Yeah, Francis, it's the mic I'm using. It's this special mic that means that it shouldn't pick up too much additional household noise. So when I do turn away, it does get a bit quieter. They don't have a search filter for sizes. I wish they did. If they do, please put them back. If they do, if you do too, please put it back in. Oh, feedback, absolutely. Feedback into Ravelry. They're always tweaking, adjusting. Using the feedback form is a great way to ask for new features. I don't know if that's what we're supposed to use it for, but that's what I use it for. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to have another sip of my tea. So I'm working on my silver ranunculus. What are you working on during this live stream of craftiness? Come back. There we go. All right. I'm going to sneeze. I can feel it building. I'm very sorry. I can feel it building. So did everybody have... Oh, are you kidding? My yarn just went in my tea. Luckily, it won't change the colour. Oh, man. I'm going to have to knit with a little damp bit. It's just a little bit. It's just a few stitches. Let me just see if I can dry it off just a little. Like an idiot. Oh, dear. Well, welcome to a live stream, right? Oh, that's awesome. My camera's frozen. No, I'm having some tech glitches. So let me just see if I can... I need to minimize this screen and see if it's definitely frozen on my main camera. So I'm going to have to go in and let me have a look here and see what I can do. Yeah, face cam. I know. Isn't it a bit weird? We haven't had face cam for a while. There's a shrug and a scarf. Edit. Let me look here. I'm gonna unlock. Unlock. Face cam. I'm gonna drop to another phone temporarily and just see if that fixes it. No, the face cam is officially frozen. Okay, I'm going to turn it off and on again, but just that one camera, not everything. All right, so bear with me. Well, I want Macy to help me with this. So there we go. Look, we'll just move that to at least look at something, right? There we go. It can look at my project and the tissue I used to save the silk. See if that worked. It's been a while since we've had a face cam issue, you guys. It's kind of exciting. No, it's toast. It's totally toast. That's kind of weird and kind of cool. Let's go with camera B. And no, I don't know what's going on there. That is weird. All right. Well, we have options, people. We have options. So I'm going to just turn off the face cam for just a second so I don't cause any kind of motion sick. I'm turning off that camera temporarily just so I don't cause any kind of motion sickness while I do some jiggery pokery magic. And I need to turn that this way. Yeah, I need to do this. Bring this up. Oops, unlock it. There we go. That's not tight enough. Let me tilt it up. Make it straight. Then we do this. Alrighty, let's see what we can do, everybody. Ready? We don't know if this is going to work. Whoops, the other side. Alright, I need to move the keyboard. That's what I need to do. There we go. Okay. Fingers are crossed. It's blocking the chat. I can't see the chat. There we go. Let's bring that over. All right, let's see what we've got here. Oh, okay. Then just bear with me. Bear with while we adjust which bit of the image it's picking up. Where is that hiding? There's a screen for it. It's hiding under something. Camera. It's not that. There it is. Okay. I'll zoom out a bit. That's terrifying. And zoom out a little more, but bring it. Options. We have options. What is it doing? You can see half my face scrunched down. Hello. Hello. Oh, you love my colourful workspace? Thank you. I just hide down here in the corner. I can't get the silly thing to stop being silly. This is not awesome. Oh, I have not had the other camera lose its mind like this before. Tall. There we go. And then we'll option crop that in. Get rid of that and then make it bigger. Option crop that down a little. I mean, I've got some phone signal stuff in here, which is not awesome, but better than nothing, right? I don't know. This will do, right? This will do. We're just going to knit, okay? No one needs to see my face. We can just knit, right? Oh my gosh, there we go. Oh dear. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? Abby's laughing. What are you laughing at, Abs? Oh, okay. Oh, Tibbles is in the laundry cupboard again. Oh, Macy's taken over my bed. Great. All right. Okay, so let me have a look here. I need to learn this. Yeah, look, I'm sure if I did a unplugged the cam link. Actually, probably should just do that. It's not connected to anything at all anyway, so I may as well. Actually, I can't get to it, not easily. Let's just knit. Let's just knit. Now, if I hope I haven't missed anything while I was freaking out. And it's blocking the chat. So let me just I've got to move. There we go. I've got another chat. I can watch this chat. Back to weaving another large shawl. I'm also setting up to weave a blanket, but it's in timeout at the moment because of tension issues. Yeah, I understand tension issues. Goodness me. How big a blanket, and what loom are you weaving a blanket on? Yeah, it's definitely interesting, right? Like, I've got like a full super duper camera over there and it's not connected and I'm on a phone. You know, like whatever. We'll just do that. Oh dear. Yeah, you got to laugh, right? Like, I mean, this is the thing. Crafting is supposed to be fun. We're here to enjoy it, and let's enjoy it. Righto? You got it last year on a yarn crawl. Cool. That's awesome. Actually, I'm going to pop you guys onto a BRB screen, but just temporarily. I'm going to see if I can fix this. It is bugging me. You guys probably don't care. It's bugging me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one thing, and if that doesn't work, then I'll come back like this, okay? I'm not going to troubleshoot for ages, but I do just want to try and fix anything. Sue, this year's Big Wool Show, not happening. There is no Big Wool Show this year. We'll talk about it again next year. Everyone's plates are too full, so we're not doing one this year as far as I'm aware. Okay, so I'm going to drop into, I've got a brand new BRB screen, so you guys can check it out. Do I click it? There it is. Somehow I clicked mute. It's fine. What I was saying before the volume thing was that it was great seeing Yarning for a Smile, and I hope to see you again. And I am sorry about the tech issues because they happen. It's live streaming, and on live streaming, live happens. So yeah, I've just I pulled all the cords out. Now I've got to poke them all back in again. I hope you guys can hear me now because I've unmuted. So let me know if you can hear me again. There we go. I'm moving. This time the blanket I'm using Old Ashford 32-inch 4 shuff loom with floor petals, weaving double. I tried a different way of warping and stuffed the tension up. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that's a confusing thing. I don't know why that. Oh, I do know why that's there. That would explain some stuff. It's all good. You can hear now. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully that was the last of our tech issues. That would be amazing if that was the last one for today. Abby says we've got bad juju. Don't know why. I don't recall doing anything that would deserve some bad juju, but you know, stuff happens. Oh, you can hear and see, so that is great. I definitely prefer not having a little lightning bolt over the front of my face while I've got my face cam on. But you know, at a pinch, we could have kept going with it. It was blocking the live chat, which made it hard to see what you guys were doing. So you know. Oh, Leslie says that music made me knit faster. Oh, are you kidding me? I put my yarn back in the tea. How? Abby wants to know if I've opened an umbrella inside or something. I've put my yarn in my tea twice. I had a webcam die, like not die, but like drop out. There we go. I don't even know. I'm just going to drink some tea for just a second, just to, you know. That's three things, right? If we're going bad luck. That's three things. The little bit of purple. Which little bit of purple are we talking about? Oh, the border. I changed the border because I thought maybe it was part of the problem. Because I did have this one going. And I thought maybe having that going was causing, you know, my system to have to do too much. And it's maybe having a big old crybaby whinge. I mean, it's not doing too much, honestly. There we go. Back to the comments. Time to move the tea. Yeah. It's in a different spot because I set the ball winder up just in case we got Frogger project, because I really need a Frogger project. Oh, are you talking about this? This little thing? That's just so that I know where the beginning of my round is. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm actually like, oh, this over here. This is knitting cable. It's for holding my stitches. It's hang on a second. It's just a bit tangled up. But basically it's holding all the stitches on the other sleeve while I make my sleeve lengths match. So is that what you're talking about? The knitting cord? It's just a tool. It's just a tool. Bye, Abs. Have a good day at work. But yeah, I love my I love using knitting cord now. It's something new for me. I'd seen it around a little bit, didn't really understand what it was, and then a friend of mine, Kelly, I think actually here in the chat, she was using it, and I'm just like, wait, what? So now I'm obsessed, and I've got knitting cord in multiple colors and in two thicknesses, you know, because I can. I'm like, for a second there, I thought, have I dropped my yarn in the tea again? But it's the bit I dropped in before. I've just finally gotten to it. I should do a little measury do to work out where I'm up to with these sleeves, right? did you guys vote Ranunculus because you knew it was a project that I was so close to finish, but I just am not yet? Like, it's just the sleeves, and once the sleeves are done, this top is done. It needs a couple of ends woven in. Thank you, ball boys. Thank you, linesmen, all over. I'm just like making sure I didn't, like, when I pull more yarn, I'm like, did I just throw that in my teacup, which I've moved a little, but not too much, but a little. Goodness me. Let me just double check I'm not missing anything in the chat here. Nope, good. Because it's like, everything appears to be working. So I thought maybe the chat had stopped. Oh, you voted Ranunculus because it sounded Harry Potterish. I mean, it kind of does, right? It's kind of one of those words. It does sound magical. Actually, I looked up what Ranunculus meant and then forgot what it meant. So does anyone know what Ranunculus means off the top of their heads? Oh, as an FYI, today is the first Thursday of the month here in Brisbane. So if you are local, we will be meeting up at the IKEA at Logan in the food cafeteria area. Yeah, I totally will be there. It's a pity it's a bit groupy because I think it would be great to use to actually knit with. That way you could get the size cord you actually. Yeah. I mean, that would be nice, but it's my concern, not so much that it's grippy. My concern would be that it would come off the ends of the needles you were using, because there's no real. Oops, I'll just throw that around. There's no real way to secure it, like short of like super gluing or something. But even then, that could break. Um, okay, there's a few different suggestions: a flower or a frog. Sue Singleton's asking the question. How difficult is the pattern section? I'm not sure if I brought that up on screen. There it is. How difficult is the pattern section suitable for an average skill? I am an average knitter, right? Like knitting garments is not my thing. The actual pattern section, it's pretty hard to see in the silk. I'm sorry about that. The actual patterning is not too bad at all, really. And every single picture every single row has a tutorial. So if you are unsure, and some of them are things I've never done before, but once I watched the tutorial, and there was a tutorial for the cast on edges, there's tutorials for all of these sorts of, see how it's a bit far away, but see how that's crossed over? There's like really fantastic, clear tutorials on how to do everything. And then from there down, it's just knit. So once you get past the sort of neckline area and do your sleeves, where's the sleeve? There we go. And join your sleeve on. So don't look at how my sleeves are joined on. I do a bodgy job because, garments are not my thing. Then it's all just knit. So, it's not hard. It's not a hard one. I am not answering that question, Leanne. Does that answer the question? I've got a lot of mosaic to do this week. Trish says it's the first of the month. Don't forget to change your furnace filters. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, let's go back to knitting. I hope that answered your question for you, Sue. Every time I put the knitting down, you panic. Well, I always sort of push it back a little. Like I push it back like that. I can move it around a bit. I throw it into a project bag like that. I probably should grab out one of the 14 sets of end stoppers I've got in the cutest possible choices. I'm like, do I actually have? I don't even know if I've got a pair in here. They might all be in the lounge room. Yeah, that's the thing, Kelly. Kelly, you're right. On the actual pattern page of Ranunculus is the links to the tutorials, so you can check the tutorials first to make sure you understand what she's doing. And the other thing to remember is that those are the links that the designer has done. A pile of other creators have made the same tutorials, just talking about it a bit differently. So, like anything, if it doesn't quite gel with you, Google, like, search in Ravelry for that instruction, like Ranunculus, blah, blah, blah stitch. Um, and you'll probably find like a dozen different tutorials, and one of them will gel with you. Usually. Usually. I feel a bit low down in the camera, like I'm squatting. Let me just, can I do anything about that? There we go. That's better. When I moved everything around before I screwed it all up. So, hide the current comment. There we go. Yeah, it's a second here. That's right. We're in Australia. We're in the future. Um, is YouTube continue to make it so the chat doesn't scroll back and forth? I don't know. I don't know. It does get frustrating when you're like looking at a comment and then you go to do something to it and it just disappears. But yeah, I don't know. There's also a feedback form for YouTube. If you've got something as a viewer that you would like to see done or bettered, or and you can suggest it, you can totally drop it in your feedback form for YouTube as well. Yes, we are future people. I like that. We're the future people. Yeah, Trish, when Nick is live at 9 a.m. Eastern, that's 11 p.m. for me. So it's the middle of the night. It's just like, the joke is like, I'm actually also drinking coffee because I need to stay awake. Yeah, so I would definitely consider it, because it's not like, depending on the kind of garment that you want. Like for me, I like the nice lightweight, either silk or cotton. I'm in subtropics here, you know. Um, and I got a top. I mean, I can just go and grab it. I know exactly where it is. Do you guys want me to go and grab the top and I can show it to you? But my top weighs 205 grams and I am plus size. So I think that you could, most, average sized people, I mean, I hate that word so much, but if you are under my size, then you could totally do it with one ball of Bendigo cotton. I know that Kelly just made one in Bendigo cotton. Hers is a little drapier than my tee is. My tee I made to be a little more form fit. It's not form fitting, but because of the kind of cotton it is, it's stretched out a little. So like it's longer, like it's drapey. It doesn't hold its form, if that makes sense. So it's quite a boxy sweater pattern, but depending on the fabric that you use, you can make it not quite so form figure hugging. Form figure hugging. That's real words, hey? There we go. Um yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern for Nick's lives, but that's 11 p.m. for Australian Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, it's a big difference, hey? How many meters was it? So it was 4 balls, and the balls were 160 meters or 180. They might have been 180 meters per ball. It'll be on my project page. Yeah. I I think I came out, I think it was, I can't remember honestly off the top of my head. I think they were one, oh, I don't even know. I don't know. I'd have to check. I might even still have the pattern open. Hang on a second. I do. Look at that. Go back. I've still got the pattern open here, so I'm just going to go back to my pattern. And I can tell you the answer to the questions. My projects. And it was my cotton ranunculus. I didn't add my yarn to the project and nobody told me. That's annoying. I can't answer the question. Not off the top of my head. I'd have to go and find a ball of yarn. Oh, that's a great idea, Trish. Watching the New Year's Eve stuff all around the world. Oops, I did something dumb. Come back. There we go. Back up there. Excellent. Back over to the YouTube screen. Let me look here. This one I'm doing a bit longer sleeve. So the other one I did like a t-shirt length sleeve. This one's going to be more like sort of like most of my tops I like to be this length where it's just off the wrist. So I'll probably just bring it just down past there. Maybe just take it. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I'm just going to keep knitting, okay? I don't know. And then do like they've got like an I-cord sleeve cuff thing. I'll do that. Artuk has decided something is wrong with the world because you are knitting on screen. I'm knitting and he's crocheting. It's the wrong way round. Oh my gosh, that is kind of funny. That is kind of funny. Let's hide that. There we go. Yeah, Trish, I think you're right. I think and that's kind of why, like, I made it to just past because there's my elbow. I made it to just past my elbow on the other sleeve, and then I've left it so I can make it longer if I want. But I think you're right. I think I'm going to have. Okay, so StreamYard crashed, which I've actually never seen happen. In the years I've been using StreamYard, that is the first time I have ever seen that happen. I'm really glad that it kept the stream open, which is something because I was like, if it's crashed entirely, maybe it has destroyed the screen. I don't know. But it did keep the stream open. I was able to just refresh StreamYard. I did nothing else. And I am back. So we will see how it goes. There we go. I mean, the comments are coming up better. I love the purple screen as well, which is kind of why it's there. I am back. I am back. Sometimes, yes, Nick's issues are more like he loses his internet and he loses his power. They're the issues he has. For me, it was StreamYard that crashed. It was the most bizarrest thing. But I am so glad that it is back. I'm going to grab my my little Ranunculus t-shirt. I'll be back in 1 second. How's that for speedy? Speedy, speedy. This is my Ranunculus t-shirt. I'll just pop it the right way. So, arms, make it sort of how I'd wear it, maybe. And then, yeah, and it's sort of, it's long enough. I could probably just pull it over the top of this top. But yeah, it's 205 grams, and this is dense enough to be able to wear it as a t-shirt with nothing extra underneath it, which in Queensland, I don't want extra things. I don't want extra layers on a hot day. I just want a nice organic cotton t-shirt. So this is just using a 4-ply cotton. I will have to find a ball and add the ball and the meterage to the pattern. I don't know why it wasn't there, but it's so soft as well. It's ridiculously soft. So love wearing it. It is a wonderful, wonderful top to make. So yeah. Yeah, it was a bit weird with the stream just dropping out like that. I'm going to top up my tea with some hot tea. I'm going to move the yarn, you know, let's not tempt fate. Okay, I've got hotter tea. Holly says, I really like that top. I would really like to knit one. Holly, you have been making a lot of knitted squares, and I actually think you could probably make this top with all the different patterning and what have you you've been doing in the knitted squares. I really think you could. Yeah, be safe. Don't say the R word anymore. The top that shall not be named. It's very comfortable to wear and it looks nice. I like it's both these things. It ticks some boxes. All right, let's see if we can drop back down to here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Next one. There we go. There we go. No, top down camera was okay. It's just when I came back to the stream, I wanted to be able to see better, so I wanted the big screen. I changed that bit personally. Oh, keyboard's back in the way because I'm like, grab the keyboard, fix the problems, solve the problems of the world. Oh, Francis, that is nice. That is nice. I'm using 6mm needles right now, I believe. Let me just double check. I could be telling pork pies. I think they're 6s. Yeah, they're 6s. The pattern recommends 6mm needles. So, yeah, that's what I'm using. Holly says, I haven't made a top yet, but I'm currently working on a caplet. Well, I think I've crocheted a lot of tops, right? And I think that blue sweater that I made was probably my first full jumper sort of thing, like full top that I've knitted for myself. I'm just trying to think. For some reason, I think that was the first full top. So then my Ranunculus was my second. I would actually say the Ranunculus was easier than the sweater. But see, like the thing is, I've made lots of other things using different skills that just weren't top. So I've done scarves and hats and socks and all sorts of other things. I'm just trying to think. I could swear I've knitted myself a top before, but I cannot think of it. Oh, I did say the R word. I can't even think about it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, you know, we've had all the glitches. That was the number 3. That was the number 3. We had the camera go, the yarn and the tea. Even though the yarn went into the tea twice, that was obviously still just the one fault. And then we had the whole stream go down. So, you know, crossing your fingers. Oh dear. Yeah, the top I knitted was the Arco sweater from I still haven't what's the word I'm looking for? Blocked it. It's just sitting there because it's too hot for me to put on and try on. It's a winter one for me. Even though it's a cotton wool blend, it's quite thick and dense. So it's a winter top for me. My first sweater jumper for myself was the Magpie Tendencies, and I made one in handspun. Then I made a single wrap linen handspun for Bendigo. Yeah, you kind of get on a roll, don't you? Where you're just like, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing heaps. Picnic. Yeah, you've just turned up, and now it's like everyone else is like, oh my God, don't say the weird words that could make the whole stream crash. And you're like, what? Yeah, it's been exciting. It's been an exciting start to the stream. First half of the stream, thrills abounding. Thrills abounding. So I'm glad to see that you all stuck around and you didn't desert me in my time of need. Oh. Yes. So today is Caffeinated Crafters. So this afternoon, after my lunch, I'm going to kick back on the couch. I'm going to pull the mosaic into the lounge room. I don't think it's actually ever been in the lounge room. I'm going to knit last week's rows and this week's rows. Oh, Kelly Poles jumping in for a re-roll. Okay, let me bring that on screen. Because members can use they get one free member chat after they've been a member for 30 days. And they can totally use it for a re-roll. So let me put this away. Wouldn't it be funny if we re-rolled and it was the Ranunculus again? Oh! Okay. We used that one. So let's use this one. Let me bring up the rolly screen so we know what we've got. Alrighty. I should put that overlay onto this screen, shouldn't I? Okay, let's re-roll and then we'll check the numbers. It's number 1. Number 1 is the mosaic. Oh man. All right. Well, I'll just pull the mosaic out and start the process unless somebody wants to re-roll me straight away. I'll allow an instant re-roll on that one. Oh no, not the plague test. Oh Emma. All right. That's so funny. Does anyone have last week's numbers? I wrote them down. 2, 4, and 7. There we go. I'm going to put them on here. Oh, they're very similar to this week's. All right. 2, 4, and 7. Instant reroll. Leanne has jumped in with the instant reroll. Okay. Now, usually, Kelly, I'm sorry. Usually I would give you the 15 minutes, but I really don't want to do it. Is there going to be an issue here? But just because it's the ripple and I really, not the ripple, yeah. I've just realized I said, oh yeah, that's fine. But after the rules say I have to give it 15 minutes, Kelly says that's okay. Okay, Kelly. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do a re-roll. I feel a bit guilty because I just changed the rules on my own self. Okay. No, that's the one I want. All right. So we're going to do an instant re-roll for Leanne. Thank you, Leanne, for saving me. I won't say the R word. It's a 5. What's the 5? I got to learn what these are off the top of my head, don't I? 5 is knit the knee-high socks. Which are in the lounge. Bear with. Bear with. Back with the knee-high socks. Now, I know that we were getting worried that I was going to need to start doing the shaping on these, but not yet. They need a couple more rows, so that's cool. That's cool. What have I missed here? Breaking your own rules after only a week. Yeah. Okay, I like that. I do like that. I would prefer never to do it again because I feel like a meanie. Um, but that will make me feel better for this one instance, but I won't do it again. I just really didn't want to do the mosaic. I feel guilty that I'm already behind and I'm going to be working on it all afternoon. She does make knitting a lot more fun. Torturous is probably the word. All right, so we are knitting knee-high socks. These are being worked 2 at a time. 1 sock from each ball of yarn. So I have 2 balls of yarn. This little bath ball is off the front of one of the balls. We'll get to it. Let me just do some detanglings. It went on an adventure and came to the lounge room and got work done out there while I tried the socks on to make sure I wasn't getting too far ahead of myself. Okay, that one goes on that ball. All right. And there we go. Nice and separated. All right, let's go. They're very cute. Yes. They're very enjoyable. And Kelly says I should put the links to all the patterns in the description. She's right. I should. I haven't. This is in my Ravelry queue, however. So if you go over and click my link to Ravelry or go to Ravelry and look for Fibrific Shanti, you can see all the projects. I believe all of them except for the spinning projects are on Ravelry. So you can check them out there and get all the yarn information and go from there. My dad was great at knitting socks. He was a sailor, so I had lots of spare time. He could turn a heel like, wow. Heel turning stresses me out. I can't do heel turning on camera. I have to do that. I have to do that myself. There we go. That's the project for the basic knee-high socks. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just get some knitting going. So how working 2 at a time works is I actually saw this older guy and he would do like 12 pairs at a time on a really long circular, and he just had all the yarns just in a massive crate, and each sock had its own ball so that he didn't have to worry about, tangles and things like that. It was insane. Yeah, so as long as you keep an eye on where I'm about to go next, so I'll be able to show you. It's actually not hard. It kind of goes with today, yeah. Oh, like when I was coming back from the lounge room just then, I'm like, I feel like I've run a marathon today. I've been like, I had to go and get one thing and then get another thing. Now, what I want to show you is I dropped this yarn from this sock, right? Then I move over to the other sock here, slide it onto the working needle. It looks like I've made that stitch way too tight. Come on, there we go. Bring it onto the working needle and actually grab the yarn from the other ball. So the yarn from the back of the sock, I grab that yarn to work with next. And I make sure that there's no yarn connecting the 2 socks. So there's nothing twisted, there's nothing in the way. That's my biggest fear is doing that. Then I drag through a bit of extra tail and give myself a bit more room. Shove that guy down and out of the way. So now I'm working on this sock. So while it's 2 at a time on the needles, it's 1 sock at a time. Does that make sense? Like I'm never working on 1 stitch of 1 sock and then 1 stitch of another sock. It's this sock now, and then there'll be the other sock's turn. They take turns. They share and they take turns. Yeah, Sal in the chat is also a lefty, and she struggles as well. Is there not YouTube? Because I'm a righty. So is there not YouTube tutorials that will help you heel turn for a lefty? There'd have to be, wouldn't there? Surely you don't have to miss out on socks because you're a lefty. Yeah. Goodness me. I do feel bad about the mosaic blanket. I have guilt. Just know I will post a photo into the fun zone when I get set up in the lounge room. It will be getting well more than 15 minutes this afternoon. It'll be getting a few hours to catch up on the rows I've missed. Because I meant to do them last week and totally forgot. It was just, and then I was like talking about it yesterday with a friend, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've totally got to work on that this afternoon. Then I came home and edited a video instead. So it's just like, oh yeah, totally didn't do that. So yeah. Now we're on the back side of the second sock. Oh man, I didn't write down what time I started this sock. Where are we at? 11:22. So what if I say we started it at 11:15? Just in case. You know. I don't know about heel turning because I've never knitted a sock, but I've found some great other tutorials for us lefties. Oh, that's awesome. I can crochet sock slippers because you can form the design as you go. Yeah, you can. I like my socks to fit inside of shoes. I don't like big, thick, bulky socks. In saying that, I'm currently knitting some DK cotton lycra socks. No, cotton spandex socks, which they're a bit chunkier than I'm used to, but geez, I'm liking them. I'm liking them. Oh, okay, so that's going to push out there so I can give myself some room there. Oops, what have I done there? Here we go. Accidentally got both sides of the stitch. That would have hurt when I pulled it and dropped the entire stitch. I'm calm now. I'm calm now. Don't do anything to stress me out, StreamYard. Um, yeah, oh, your socks are slippers. They'll not fit in any shoes, but they are very warm. That sounds lovely. And squishy. It also sounds squishy. I need a sip of my tea once I get to the end of this sock. There we go. Beverage time. Time to hydrate, peeps. Time to hydrate. All right, so I've got a marker here so I know that this is the front side of the first sock, so that I don't, so I know where to stop and where to start on all the time, because I'm that person that'll just keep going round and round like I don't know where the start is. Look at you 24-monthers with your bright red ninja. Gosh, I'm going to have to come up with some new colours. The next colour doesn't kick in till 36 months though, so I've got some time. Yeah, lots of lurgies around. We'll see. We'll see how she goes. Okay. All right, chat. What is your first craft of choice? Like if you get to choose, like I'm going to sit down and do whatever craft I want, what is it? Like, are you a knitter first or a crocheter first or a sewer first? Or, what is your first craft? My first craft is actually cross stitch. But my first yarn craft is crochet. Lots of crocheters in the house. For Kelly, it's knitting. Whoops. Knitting, crochet, crochet, knitting. Bianca says knitting is my only. Trisha says love embroidery. It was my first learned. Yep. Yep, I cross stitched. I mean, I think I crocheted very first, but then I didn't crochet for many years and I cross stitched and long stitched. And then I went back to back to crochet, and then after crochet became knitting. No, crochet was spinning, knitting, then weaving. Mel says she started with long stitch and then went to crochet. Jen says needlepoint was my first, and then cross stitch, and then knitting. There you go. It's always really interesting how, like, there's not many of us that only do one single craft. It does happen, but it is unusual. Artsec says, does painting miniatures count? If not, then knitting. Well, painting counts for sure. That's a craft. I can't paint. Much to my family's shame, they're all artists. I am not an artist, not in the same sort of way that they are. They are all like painters and sculptors and musicians. Oh, macrame was your first. Nice. Oh, I'm up to the little dangly ball of doom. Actually, let's just flip some to untwist it. One more. There we go. It's got enough issues without adding some twist in. John O'Brien. Hey, how you going? It's great to see you, dude. I was asking, what was your first craft? Mine was long stitch and cross stitch before I started crochet. Yep, first craft. Soldering count or soldering? I don't know. I suppose it depends on what you're soldering, but no, not soldiering. First craft was sewing. Okay. I crocheted and knitted first, terrible at knitting, so put it away. Then long stitch and cross stitch and beading, then back to crochet. What are you doing down there, little dog? Louis is digging his way through the blanket down here. Apparently it's not comfortable how it is. He's got to mush it up. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking, soldering as endurance, but I think he's soldering because he was a Marine. I could be wrong. You were a Marine, right? You weren't Army. Maybe you were Army. I thought you were a Marine. I don't know. In Australia, we only have Army, Navy, and Air Force. We don't have Marines. Funnily enough, I learned something while I was soldiering. Army. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I knew, like, this is the thing. I knew that it was one of them, and that if you call someone in the Marine in the Army, they're offended, and if you call someone in the Army a Marine, they're offended. And I'm so sorry. It was Army. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to be more insulting. I don't understand the difference between Marines and Army. Because, like, in Australia, we have Army, Air Force, and Navy. So, Army is the ground, Air Force is the air, and Navy is the water. So, I see Marines as and army is on the ground? I don't know. Oh, this could be bad. I could be just like John's just there like going, ah, um, like disrespect. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I'm honestly curious. Oh, Marines eat crowns. Okay. Right. I'm sorry if you're a Marine or a Marine's wife and you're watching. Or Marine's husband or partner or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I honestly thought it was only Americans that had Marines. I didn't think it was a widely thing. I don't know. I don't want to play meanie games. I'm curious as to what the differences are. But if that's not a topic that is safe to talk about, then we should probably move on. Um, I don't think Marines are special forces. I think there are some platoons of Marines that are special forces, the same as in Australia. Australian Army are special forces. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know. Sue says, my craft room is a mess of every fiber and color. Yes, it is definitely. Mine's a bit messy. I was digging through some crates. So you know when you're like, I'm gonna do a big reshuffle and organization, and then you pull everything out and you're like, oh my god, I can't deal with this, and just shove it all back in again. Yeah, that was me. That was me. Um, yeah, Marines are a whole separate branch. Absolutely, they are. They're their own whole separate thing. Oh, try not to. My one thing is I don't want to pull the loop in at the end because I don't have a stitch marker in there to tell me where I'm up to. In we go. Stab, stab, stab. Colors are wonderful and we should have them everywhere. I agree. I agree. Okay. Yarn on. All right. So, who here has made a sock, whether it's knitted or crocheted? Who has made a sock before? Doesn't have to be a pair. Could just be one. So, yeah, it could be a single sock. Yep, whereas the whole tidy up always seems to start with making more mess. It really does. It really does. Let me have a look here. Bianca has made socks. John has crocheted slipper socks. Game Winners has made many, many, many socks. So many socks. Trish has made slippers. Becknick, Francis has made some using a sock loom, not very successful. Is that like the sock peg loom? Alison, yes, both hand knitted and machine knitted. Kelly's made a couple of pairs. Teresa's made too many to count. I have not made a lot. I would like to be a better sock knitter than I am. I see, this is my problem. I am a process knitter, not a project knitter, right? So socks are hard for me because I worked out the process back here, right? Now I've got to do the whole sock. Um so yeah, it's doing socks for my brain is awkward. But I love hand knitted socks. I love wearing them. They fit so much better. So, it's one of those things where it's like I just need to keep going. And I don't know if I'll end up with knee-high socks out of this, but if I end up with long enough socks that I can wear them very comfortably in my docks, I'm going to be so happy. I would like knee-highs though, just for fun. I've attempted a couple of times. Knitspin Girl says, at this point, probably hundreds. I think practice, I'm not a practice makes perfect person. I'm a practice makes better person. But yeah, I practice. I'll keep practicing. Jackie says, "Yep, definitely me too, a process knitter." Yeah, I think it makes socks hard because, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing two at a time, is because I get second sock syndrome, which is why I was like, you don't have had to have made a pair, even just one counts. Leanne says, "Are you rolling after 15 minutes?" No, I'm not. Like, this is the deal. I keep working on the project until the end of the stream unless somebody interrupts it. That's the thing. It's up to you guys if you want to interrupt and get me to change projects. Otherwise, I just work on this project for the stream. Um, uh, Let me think. Oh, Sue, I have seen it, and I've even cast on for it. It's a type of double knitting, and it looks fantastic. And so it looks like when you're looking at it, it's just like one sock, right? There's no second sock here. And then when you cast off, you actually pull the second sock out of the middle, like it's birthed out of the other sock. It looks amazing. I made a little test sock of it, and it was awesome. I like double knitting though, so for me that probably made it a bit easier. How long do the knitted socks last? How durable are they? Ages. Um, I would say they last better than commercial socks with their fake elastine and stuff in them because I'm making the fabric elastic with the stretch of the stitches. There's no elastine in here at all. These are wool and nylon, I think. And the nylon gives it a little bit of additional strength. Yeah, polyamide, which is a nylon. Um, and the other thing is depending um, on where it wears. If you keep some of the yarn, you can always do a repair if you need to. But Jackie is 100% right. It does depend on the yarn and it does depend on the wearer and how they're being worn. Like, I would not wear handmade socks around my lino, like hard floor, serviced floor without shoes on. That would wear them out so fast. These are not bed socks. These are socks. These are dress shoe socks. So that's how I think of them in my brain. Um, yeah, once you've worn hand knitted socks, it's very hard to go back to commercial. I agree. I agree. As I have made myself very few hand knit socks, though, I alternate between both quite heavily. Knitspin Girl says, I have pairs I made 15 years ago that I wear often, still going strong. Opal wears like iron. Opal is a sock yarn company. Is it German? I think it's a German sock yarn company. And they make the most fun sock. I could be thinking of Regia. Regia is an opal, isn't it? Regia is a part of the opal. Anyway, but yeah, they make beautiful sock yarn. But it's all about how tight the stitches are as well. Like if you make with big, lofty, loose stitches, it's going to wear out faster. If you make it with firmer, tighter stitches, it'll hold together better. Sue says I made my first pair in 2007, still wearing them today. Yeah, I think it's a big mix of everything. It depends on the wearer. It depends on what they're made of. But for the most part, they're good. Also, be cautious on how you wash them. If you're making your socks and they're not machine washable, please do not machine wash them. The yarn doesn't say non-machine washable to be precious. The yarn says non-machine washable because if you wash it in a machine, it'll felt and your socks will be useless. Like, unless you know a toddler. Um, I knitted a sweater for my 17-year-old and she never wears it. I knitted her a pair of socks and she lives in them and has asked for multiple times for more pairs. Well, it sounds like you know what you can make her for Christmases and birthdays for the rest of her life. My knitworthy blacksmith brother loves the socks I make him. Yeah, this is the thing. with how many stitches an average sock takes to make on fine needles and fine yarn, you have to really like who you're giving hand knitted socks to. Okay? Because it is a time consuming effort. Yeah, sock blockers, absolutely. I've got some plastic ones, but yeah, wooden sock things to hang the socks on to wash and dry them. Sock blockers are great. If you make hand knit socks or you wear them after you buy them, buy yourself a set of sock blockers. Mine have actually got like a little hook on them and I can just hang it straight on the clothesline. Knit Spin Girl says, my gauge has changed for socks over the last 6 months. I used to do a 72 stitch sock on 2.5s. Now I do a 64 stitch and it turns out ginormous. Do you think it could be that your tension's gotten looser and maybe you should try going down a needle size rather than a sock size? That could be worth a try. And are you using the same yarns? Oh, I nearly grabbed the wrong yarn there. And has the yarn company changed anything about their yarn? I love it when yarn companies change their milling process and then don't change the name of the yarn. So you think you're getting the same thing you've been getting for years and years and years, and then you get it home and you're like, wait a second, this feels weird, or is this meterage off? And it's like 20 meters shorter and you're used to having that 20 meters. I'm just keep double checking to make sure my yarn's not twisted. Because, the only way to fix that is to actually tink it back and fix it. So best to not do it at the start. Let me have a look here. Yeah. I know my tension has changed. I used to be like a super loose knitter and would very rarely get gauge. And I'm finding that I'm probably knitting a little tighter now. Maybe just a little, not a ton. And so I still have to just keep checking gauge. Because, it also depends on my mood. Now I have a sock machine. I can make a pair of socks in a day. I'm not fast using the machine though. Yeah, like this is the thing. Like those sock machines are beautiful. Like I'm assuming you've got one of those old metal hand cranked ones that cost an absolute arm and a leg. I did see someone's making a new version, and I'm like very curious. It's still like $600, but considering that the other ones are like $2,000, it is definitely worth looking into. My tension got looser, yes. I would go down a needle size, personally, and see if that makes a difference for you. Oh yeah, it took me a few years of dreaming and saving. Absolutely. They are not the cheapest of machine. But if you love hand knitted socks and you love gifting hand knitted socks, it's a good way to make them just that little bit faster. Well, a lot faster. I suppose it depends on the knitter. A lot faster than me. Oh, there we go. We've got the next colour. I actually think we were on that the row before, but I didn't notice. Good job, me. Go me. Have an awesome one, Vampire and Artsog. Enjoy your lunch. Now, at Caffeinated Crafters tonight, if there was something that you wanted me to bring or I was supposed to bring for you and I said, hey, I'll bring that to Caffeinated Crafters, can you send me a message? Because as far as I'm aware, I'm not taking anything with me tonight. So if you are expecting me to bring something, you should probably tell me. Because otherwise you're going to be really disappointed. Let's grab this guy. Do the untangle tangle. There we go. Yep, everything's right. Keep going. I found that I'm faster with DPNs and circs, less time fussing with the cable. Yeah, except I can't do two at a time with DPNs. I'm working my my other sock with DPNs. I'm using the Collage Square DPNs, giving them a test out. Loving them. I've always had a bit of a love-hate relationship with DPNs, but I am really enjoying the collage square DPNs so far. I am halfway through one sock, so we'll see. Amanda, it will depend on who you talk to. So Amanda is asking, are socks a good beginner project or considered more advanced? In some places, the sock is the first project you ever get to knit, and you've got 4-year-olds doing it. Okay, so it's one of these things that it is a technique and you can learn it. For me, I found I needed a bit more practice on some other stuff. And so for me, I've come to socks a bit later. They were not my first project. But the wonderful thing about socks is you can make them very plain like these ones and let the yarn do all the work. Or you can make them as intricately patterned as you want. So it's one of these things. It is technically any pattern is a beginner pattern if the beginner really wants it. So yeah, that is the best non-answer to that question I can give. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh, the chat's quiet now. Oh, Holly's got a great piece of a great comment there. I knitted my first pair of socks with less than a year of knitting experience. I definitely would not be afraid of trying. This is the thing, you can't break the yarn. I mean, you might literally break the yarn, but you can still use it. Socks make a good travel project, nice and portable. Always have a sock project with me when I leave the house. Yep. It is a super portable project. That's one of the things I love about socks. Now, that should not be there. That was me doing something hinky. Let me grab the correct yarn. I'll be really happy when I use up this little yarn bath ball that I've made here. That's how much yarn bath came out of the middle, and I just couldn't leave it because it was just so much yarn bath. It's totally how much do you want the item. A beginner can do anything. I agree. And I don't like it when beginners are told, I'm sorry, this is too difficult. You can't do it. You have to do this boring, dull scarf that's 6 foot of the same stitch over and over and over again. And I think that's a really good way to put people off a craft by making them do a particular project that they have zero interest in. If you've got a project that you are in love with, you're more likely to persevere and look up a video on how to do a thing and go from there. So if you really want the sock, make the sock, honestly. If you want a scarf, make the scarf. If you want a cowl, make the cowl. You can totally do whatever you want, but there will be a steeper learning curve for some things than other things. John has said, I posted 2 videos to the Fun Zone, one explaining the difference between the US Army and the US Marine Corps, and then a joke video showing how the different branches teach self-defense. Okay, all right, I'll be very curious to go and have a look. Amanda says that all the answers everyone is giving is great and absolutely appreciated. Awesome, I'm glad. Nitty Natty has some great tutorials for beginners. There you go. That's a good one. My Molly 10 was crocheting. I'm teaching her grannies and corner to corner, and her skein had a bath, so I balled it from the outside of the skein. There you go. I still wanted to keep the matching, John. So I knew what I was doing was going to cause me more pain later. And it's been girl does. This is a good point. If a pattern does say heirloom, it's probably best not to start with that. That's probably going to be that's the hardest level of knitting. That is, I generally don't make heirloom things personally. I would not consider myself like, I know a lot of skills. I know a lot of ways to do things. I have not made enough things to consider myself an heirloom knitter. Yep, all knitting is done one stitch at a time. Yep, agreed. Oh, Molly wants a corgi. I'm not that good with amigurumi. Can't really teach her. Trying to teach her the basic stitches and counting. That's all you can do. And then get her onto like a YouTube video that's got a step-by-step tutorial of a corgi. Absolutely. What's the best that could happen? Just give it a crack. The best that could happen is you end up with a pair of really awesome socks that you love to death and have to cast on another pair because now you're addicted. Because that's the actual real problem. It's not the problem as if you screw it up, what happens. The problem is when you get it right and you're like, that's it. I'm a sock knitter now and I'm going to make 19 pairs of socks this year because I never want to wear commercial socks again in my life. And then when you've got enough socks, you decide your partner needs handmade socks and your mum needs handmade socks and every person around you needs handmade socks because they don't know what they're missing out on by wearing commercial all the time. That's the true downside. Um, oh yeah, heirloom ones, they do have a lot of assumed knowledge, absolutely. And along with like really old patterns, like patterns from the like the 1900s and the 1800s. They just assume you know stuff. John, I actually think you would be an amazing sock knitter because of how tight you work. Like you have really tight tension. I think you would be a phenomenal sock knitter. My problem with socks is that my tension's usually just that bit too loose. Oops. Um, oh, your toes are freezing. You could use some socks, man. Get some socks. Um, my mum steals my socks. My brother asks politely. Hubby doesn't like them. Kiddo now wears my socks. Yeah, see, I've got smaller feet than my daughter, so she can't steal my socks. Um, but my mum can. So, yes. I bought a book that taught me new techniques as you progress through the book, gradually getting more difficult, but I like the project at the back of the book, so I started there. Well, at least now you know that now that you can do that one, you can actually do anything else in the book. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, I think the US and Australian shoe sizing is pretty similar. Francis says I buy my socks from knitters in my craft group. I did a swap, like a Secret Santa Christmas swap, and someone had made me a pair of socks, and that was my very first pair of hand knitted socks. And it was really funny because I'd been complaining at a craft group that I couldn't, like, my feet are weird sizes. And so at the craft group, we all sat down and measured our feet. Someone grabbed a like of mine, like a quick photo, for another person who wasn't at the craft group. They started the whole conversation to try and work out what my foot sizing was. It was the weirdest thing. So, yeah, it was, yeah, it was so odd, but it worked. And I've got the most beautiful pair of socks and I love them a lot. And they're so comfy and squishy. And I've had them for a long time. I don't know how long, a long time. My first knitted socks that I made for myself, I made them using some amazing hand dyed yarn that I'd gotten. And my husband didn't realize at the time that they were not machine washable because they were made with, I think it was Blueface Leicester wool and Angora. They were the softest socks I'd ever had in my life. and then they became toddler socks. That's how I know. Like, don't, if it says hand wash the damn things. Don't put them in a machine and hope for the best. Because he just tossed them in the machine. And they actually felted onto something else. Like, we were able to take it off, but they connected himself. So my little gorgeous orange hand knit socks that I'd made for myself. I know more. And he was mortified. He was mortified. He's like, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. So now I buy all my sock yarns hand wash, super wash, because if they end up in the washing room, they'll end up in the machine. So yeah. Oh, and the Angora was amazing. It was a special treat. And because I'm allergic to a lot of things, but I'm not allergic to Angora. I'm allergic to alpaca. And a lot of people use alpaca in their socks to make it extra squishy, so I can't use that. Alison says I always wash my hand knits. Yeah, like as in hand wash or machine wash. I depending on what they are, I will toss them into a laundry bag, and they will get a delicate cycle or a wool wash cycle on my front loader. Otherwise, they get a bucket with wool wash, and they get to soak in that for a little while, and depends on what the item is. Blankets get machine washed and then tossed in the dryer. And if they can't cope with that, then they don't belong in this house. Because I wash my blankets a lot because I've got pets, and the pets lay on the blankets, and they make the blankets smell like pets. And I don't like the smell of pets. So, but I love having pets. So the blankets go in the wash like pretty regularly. That's why all my blankets are made with cotton or acrylic. Mostly, except for one. I've got one made with hand-dyed yarn that's special that pets don't get to lay on. I hand wash all my hand knits. There you go. Trish machine washes hers. Oh yeah, it's generally the husband's trying to be helpful, isn't it? Like, we know, don't stick that, even if it's in the laundry. No, don't put that in the washing machine. But they're just trying to be helpful, and they're filling a load, and it's sitting right there, and it fits. It's the right color. In it goes. That's the last of the consideration. So yeah. Holly said I made my stepmother a pair of socks that are made from hand-dyed yarn out of superwash and cashmere. That sounds amazing. I could wear those. Superwash and cashmere for sure. I can wear cashmere. Cashmere is awesome. Yeah. It just depends on what I've made it out of. Usually the blankets are 100% machine washable. A lot of my little tops and stuff are machine washable because they're usually cotton. Depending on what they are, I'll lay them flat to dry them. Otherwise, they get pegged on the line. I'm a heathen. Don't you bring your hand washy stuff to my house and expect me to be all nice to it. It'll die. It'll die here. Your craft will come and die here. I think that once I get to the end of this one, I think I'm going to have to try these socks on again to double check. Rebecca MC. Yeah, that was so funny. I tweeted out that unfortunately I had bought way too much candy for Halloween for the number of kids that turns up. And now I've got this enormous bowl of candy that's just sitting here in the house. And yeah, it's sad. I don't know what I'm going to do with it all. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm being very good with it. I'm actually eating like one piece out of it. So I'm trying to be really good. Hope you're having an awesome day and that your Halloween was great. I've also felted a pair of my kids' hand knit socks. She rang me to. Oh, he also. Oh, that's kind of funny. He also felted a pair of my kids' hand knit socks. She rang me to dob on him. He was in the doghouse with her. I bet he was. I bet he was. And he's just like, I'm just trying to do the washing. I'm trying to be helpful here. Stop making stuff that I can't just wash. Oh my gosh. Sally said we had candy, but no one showed up. Oh my gosh. We had actually a lot less show up than historically. We usually have a lot of little kids come through in the early afternoon or, early afternoon for Halloween. They come through before dark. None. We had none. I'm like sitting out there for 2 hours and no one showed up. So I'm just sitting there listening to spooky Halloween music and no one showed up. And then one person showed up and then another person showed up and then it bucketed down with rain. I had to run inside. And then we had about another 10 show up after the rain went away. I think it was just too hot for a lot of them. It was stinking hot here. And I think if Halloween was held in autumn in Australia, it would be very different. I think a lot more of us would get in on the action, but it is hot. You don't want to be adding extra layers and be wearing a costume because it's too damn hot. A friend of mine ran out of chocolate on Halloween. Not sure if she had to resort to handing out potatoes. Oh my gosh. I have backup bags of popcorn that we keep in the cupboard, so they're fine. I've heard the amount of trick-or-treaters have gone down significantly over the last past few years. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, accepting stuff that other people have touched. I don't know. I always all the candies or lollies we call them here. It is always individually wrapped, so it's not like I'm touching their food, and I don't make little mixed bags like some people make little mixed bags, but you don't know how they're filling those bags. Like, are they using little tongs or are they using their fingers with no gloves? I don't know. I would definitely take a potato. Yeah. Forgive what might be obvious, but what trick or treat actually mean? Like, as in trick or treaters, like the people that come to your door, like as in if they normally say trick or treat and you say treat because you don't want to be tricked. And so because they could have, there could be a trick. But I think I don't know the actual proper thing. I always give treats because I don't want the tricks. I don't want the eggs or the 12 eggs are too expensive here. I'd probably be like, hang on, let me just catch that in a bowl. But yeah, I don't know. It also makes lollies really cheap in the shop. So, we don't keep a lot of lollies in the house, but we have quite a lot at the moment. Because while we ended up with more leftovers from the trick-or-treaters, I also had a few bags that I'd bought for us that I'd put aside. Trish, it was great to catch you in the live chat. And I'll see you probably on the Monday one over on the live streaming channel. You've been coming over to that. I get candy like that because if we don't get any trick-or-treaters. Yep. Yeah, that was what it was. It was trick or treat. It wasn't just something they said. It was a question. Do you want a trick or are you going to give me a treat? Like, are you going to pay me off or am I going to toilet paper your house? So, yeah. But I think there was like originally the tricks were different tricks. That wasn't like egging or toilet papering or anything like that. It was something else. And I can't remember what that was. I am at the end of the row. And I kept going, didn't I? Because I was talking and I wanted to stop over here at the start of the row. And now I've got a whole another row to do. You guys are the worst. You just sidetrack me. You do it on purpose, I swear. See, look, let's look at how bad my sock sides are. Look at that. Look at that laddering. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible at laddering person. I see it as ventilation for my very hot feet. Okay? Oh dear. All right. And when I block them, they'll be flatter. They'll sit straighter. In ladder. They're scalloped socks right now. Oh, let's not get too picky, Chantel. Let's not get too picky. Wait, you're doing 2 socks at the same time on the same needle, Witchcraft. Yes, I am. 2 socks at the same time on the same needle from 2 separate balls of yarn. I see people do it from the same ball of yarn. That to me is just a whole nother level of pain I don't want to get into. So that's where they're up to. We had some fun today, right? We really did. Like, with all the technical glitches at the start and the crash and the burn and StreamYard crashing, which I've never seen happen before. Luckily, they kept the stream open so we could come in. We started working on the Ranunculus, which we were saying the top that shall not be named. We were like, it's a bad juju top. Then the dice roll came in and it was just like, it's time to work on the mosaic. But I was like, begged, please, somebody make it so I don't have to work on that during the stream and this afternoon because I've got to do some work on it this afternoon. And then Leanne came and saved the day with a veto roll, and then we're working on my socks. Thank you, socks. Those of you that are local, I'll see you tonight. Everybody else, keep your eyes peeled. There'll be some little videos and what have you. I'm adding more content to the channel regularly now, not just the live stream. So keep your eyes peeled. And you guys have a great week, and I'll catch you next time. Bye now.